And that's the idea with this. Putting this back in, empty, that back. Doing this, over, empty, that back. Hi friends, I'm Brian Cosby. This is Provide and Protect. Today I want to show you how you can do speed reload drills by using dummy rounds from your bedroom. Let's get into it. So yes, I do have a bed in front of me, and there's a reason for that, and I'll explain why in just a moment. But one of the reasons that I want to focus on speed reloads is it's one of those isolated things that you can do at home. And you can do draw speed, you can do target acquisition, you can do a lot of things by dry firing at home. But what I'm using today are snap caps. They are dummy rounds. And the reason for using dummy rounds or snap caps is that you can actually rack the slide. This is a Glock 43X MOS. It is empty. I just showed you. And if I really pulled the slide back on this, it would lock back, and it won't chamber anything. It won't chamber any round, obviously. And so it's hard to do a lot of dry firing or drills like this. And so using snap caps or dummy rounds, you can do a lot of things. So that's why I've thought about this system for thinking about speed reloads. Now, when I talk about speed reloads, I'm talking about, there's actually a couple different kinds of reloads. One is emergency reload, and another is a tactical reload. Now, a tactical reload is where you still have some ammo in your magazine, but you know you're getting low. Maybe you've been in a gunfight, you're doing something, you're at the range, and maybe you've got 1, 2, 3 left in your magazine, and you're thinking, you know what, I want to go ahead while I'm on doing movement or doing transition, something else to a different target. I want to go ahead and get a full magazine in there. And so a tactical reload is dropping one magazine, getting the other magazine, putting that one in, and you can drop this one if you're really in a hurry, putting that back in your holster. So that is more of a tactical reload. A speed reload, emergency reload, is where you've just finished your last round and the slide is locked back. You're done. You have to reload. If you want to keep shooting, you have to reload. So it's called emergency reload. That's what we're training for today, emergency reload. You've shot all your rounds and there's no more rounds in the magazine. There's nothing else in the magazine. And so you have to drop this magazine, put a new one in, and keep going. That's the drill. So the drill is a speed reload for an emergency situation. And really, to do this, there are 4 steps. I want to get into those in just a second. But okay, so some of you are going to ask a couple things about this. One of them is, why Glock 43X? Well, this is my everyday carry. Why not a Glock 19? Well, I've got a Glock 19 right here. Got a stock Glock 19. But if I'm really going to carry every day, then it's going to be a single stack like a Glock 43X. I like the MOS. I've got a red dot obviously on here. I have done a couple of things to this to make it easier for reload, and I think that's important to talk about because I do have a little bit of an extended mag release. You don't really need that for a Glock 43X, but it's just my custom. Every time I get a new weapon, a new handgun, I just put a little bit of extended mag release on there, especially if you got a Glock 17. I've got to kind of reach around, or Glock 19, got to reach around just a little bit more than what I am comfortable doing. I've got medium to large hands, but still I've got to have that extra push for the magazine release. The other thing that I've done with this is that I have added an extended slide lock release. Now that's notorious for the Glock 43X. It's a little better for the Glock 19. But that little extended slide lock release is pretty helpful for this drill. And the third thing that I've done for this drill in particular that I think is helpful is I added a little bit of a flared mag well. So the mag well is flared. I'll drop links for this stuff down below, but that flared mag well it makes it easier when you're reloading to find the mag well. Now for the stock Glock 19, the Gen 5 at least, the Gen 5 already comes with a flared mag well, so that's pretty handy. So, but for this, that's the idea, is little flared mag well. It makes it just a little bit easier. You're not stumbling, around trying to get this in. Makes it just a little bit easier. But that's the whole purpose of the drill. So you are working these 4 parts. I'm calling it 4 parts to this drill. And every part, that's an isolated drill in itself. But then within that drill, you are also isolating the individual movements within that drill. Now, why would you need to think about this drill? Well, let's say you are in a gunfight, not just the range, but a gunfight, a real situation, and you need to. You've run out of your ammo, especially if you're doing a single stack. You've run out of ammo. That's the downside. I don't like to print, and this is going to print for me too much as it is. I mean, it'll poke out. I can pull this up a little bit. That helps. Put another shirt on. But even still, it's going to be printing too much, especially with a Glock 19. That's why I went to the 43X. But even so, the idea is that if you're in a gunfight, you're at the gas station, you're at the mall, you're somewhere, and there is a threat that you've got to take care of, and you've run out of ammo with your initial magazine, then you need to reload pretty fast. Most of these gunfights, I think they happen in like 3 seconds. So it's a fast kind of thing. You're cover, there's cover, there's conceal, and there's, you're hiding behind a car, a wall, something. But wherever you are, there's a threat, and you're in a gunfight. You're trying to take down maybe 1, 2, 3 assailants, and they're attacking other people. They're shooting other people, and you got to be the guy. You got to be that provider, protector in that moment. But you run out of ammo, and you don't have time to think about, well, I've got to drop this one, I think, and I got to get a different magazine. Is this the right way? No, I've got to turn this around, get this in the right position. You can't think about all that. You have to have the muscle memory at that point to do this properly. All right, so let's get into the drill. So here's the drill. It's four steps, and the scenario is that you have finished your final round, and now in this room that I'm in, this basement room, I've got, this is all kind of knotty pine in here, down here, and I've got a knot over here on the wall. And so with the red dot, I'm on that dot, and so I don't want to point this right at you, just for, I don't know why, you're just a camera to me, but anyway, I've got that on that site, and so that's where the drill starts. So here's the 4 steps. So where you start the drill is either I've just racked the slide, it's locked back. You start it by either click, like that, or you can have a timer. I've got a timer. You can put a timer on. I'm not doing that today because there's people around. I don't want to be beeping all the time. But a timer might be really good use for this. You can put a timer on yourself, and it just goes off, and you start the drill. So whether you start it yourself by pressing the trigger, and this is where the drill starts, because the slide is locked back. It's an emergency reload, and I'm going to show this very, very slowly here. But at the same time, so here's first step, is releasing this magazine, and you can see that my left hand, I'm right-handed, but my left hand is coming down. At the same time I release that, it's coming down to my spare mag. I've got dummy rounds in here. Okay, make sure you put all your real live ammo somewhere else. They're not even in this room with me right now. Dummy rounds only. But you're pulling this up, and you're getting this movement right here. This is the sub-isolated movement. Can I call it that? But this movement right here, step 2, step 3, slide lock release, step 4, boom, on target. So, and again, the reason I've got a bed here below me is so that I can drop these onto something that's soft. The other thing is you're going to be dropping, to do this drill, you're going to be dropping a lot of magazines. And I don't want to bend over every time and pick this up, nor do I want to somehow damage it, just falling on this hard floor. I can just drop this, and it's nice and soft. So that's why I'm here in a bedroom with a bed in front of me. There's a good reason for that. So again, starts with slide lock back, and I just filled this up with some dummy rounds. And you know, you can do this. You don't have to have all this stuff that I've added to this. You know, the Glock 19 will work, but my problem right now is I don't have, got the T-Rex sidecar, by the way, if you're wondering, T-Rex sidecar appendix carry. I don't have the T-Rex sidecar for the Glock 19 yet. I'm getting that. This is just stock right here, but you could do it with whatever weapon. So let me show you this again, more like a 10-20% speed. So slide is locked back. I'm on target, and bang. So again, what I'm doing is isolating those various independent movements. And so slide lock back. I'm going to do that very, very slowly again, maybe 30-40% speed. But I'm on target, bang. What I'm doing, if you can tell already, what I'm doing already is I'm thinking about those individual movements. And so as this is locked back, I pull the trigger. I'm thinking about, I'm not bringing the gun all the way down here, right? I'm bringing the gun into my kind of like work area right in front of me. Bring it back. There's a turn that happens, right? Turn. And the reason for that turn, when I release this, is to get this movement. Now, this is the hardest part of this whole drill, is when I come back, release that, getting that movement right there. Index. Of course, you want your ammo facing that way, so when you pull it out, it's this movement. I guess there is a movement too of just knowing where to find it, right? Now, if you had a war belt on, battle belt, this is going to be a little bit different scenario. Same principles, but a little bit different scenario on where, you know, you're pulling your magazine from. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start this from the beginning, and you know, I've got this on target. That's that right there, that target acquisition, especially if you've gone from iron sights to red dots, and I'll have another video on that transition, how that journey was for me. But when you're going from that target acquisition and slide is locked back, so I hear the bang, and I'm on. So that's the drill, and you do that over and over and over again. And that's why I recommend doing it on a bed, because, you know, got your snap caps, don't hurt anything. All right, some of you are going to talk about, well, Brian, you got your magazine outside of your shirt, but realistically, you're going to be concealing that. That's true. And so, there you go, concealed. So it's just another part of the practice of this drill, is also getting to your magazine, whatever kind of shirt or garment you've got on. So if I'm on target and bang, I've got to practice this movement. So that's certainly more realistic for this drill. But that's the idea, is to go practice over and over, and within 1 minute, I mean, you can do probably 20, 30 of these drills in just like 1 minute. So you don't have to spend all your time out the range practicing that reload. You can do this at home. And that is a great thing about using these snap caps. So I want to do several in a row pretty quickly. Load up my spare mag, lock this back, and this is the drill. And I'm thinking about those 4 movements of the slide release, the new magazine going in, slide lock release, and shot on target. That's it. So I'm on, hear the bang. Again, if you want to do more realistic, then you put your shirt back over everything. And again, the nice thing about having a bed in front of you is all these snap caps that you drop. You're not damaging those. You're not damaging your magazines, unless you hit the bullet just like that, or the dummy round. But these will just fall, and it's right here in front of you. So that's so nice. So again, boom. Thinking about this and practicing that over and over I mean, you could be listening to something, podcast or whatever, and that's the idea with this. Putting this back in, empty, that back, doing this, over, empty, that back. You know, slides lock back, emergency reload. I'm thinking about the various movements and doing that same thing, that same drill over and over. Well, it's been helpful for you today, and I will drop a link for these snap caps, these dummy rounds, down below. But if you've not done so, please consider hitting the like button and subscribing to the channel. I really appreciate you and your support, and we'll see you on the next video.